Hello, my name is Tyler Henry, and I'm very interested in an apprenticeship opportunity with Sparkbox. A little bit about myself. So, for the past 5 years, I've been serving with the Marine Corps Reserve and working security jobs. When you're not with your unit in the reserves, you work or go to school in the civilian world, and for me, that was security. Um, but about a year ago, I kind of realized that security was not my long-term calling. It wasn't my career choice. Um, so I decided to make a difficult decision and leave my job at Nationwide Children's and go back to school. I had been to school once before back in 2018, right when I got out of boot camp and infantry school. But just because of the new military obligations, me kind of readjusting back to civilian life, I just wasn't all there. And at the end of that year, I left to just go work full time. Um, with my current school, though, it's been night and day compared to that. I have really enjoyed going back to school and learning about computer science. It's been a little difficult just because I've been balancing a full time school schedule, full time work schedule, as well as still my military obligation. But it's been manageable, and I've actually found a lot more success in it than I was originally anticipating. Um, with school nowadays, especially with the pandemic, it's a lot of kind of self learning. And that's actually been something that I've been pretty successful at with computer science and coding. Last semester we learned Python, and this semester I'm working on Java. And just because of the way the pandemic is, there's no in school classes, and most of the professors tend to just post their lectures. So if you have a specific question about something that you're working on, you have to email them, and then you just have to hope that you get a response in a timely manner because you might not have a lot of time to do homework, a lot of time to do work. So if you need those answers right away, the only real way to learn, and the only way that the way that I found that I've been successful at is to teach yourself it. So I've been using a lot of online sources, a lot of PowerPoint presentations, just studying, finding the terms, like just experimenting with it, like finding what works, what doesn't. Um, and then uh, reaching out to the professor if I need it. Like if it's not something I need essentially at that moment, I will reach out to the professor because at the end of the day, that's one of the best sources you have. I really love coding though, and that's why I continue to self-teach myself. Um, I love the problem solving, the adaptability, the creativity. I love everything that goes into it. I love the problem solving, especially though. I think that that's what really draws me into computer science is getting to solve problems. That's something that I've always enjoyed. I've always loved looking at stuff analytically, solving the problem analytically, being creative about the way that you get to the answer because it might not always be obvious. Um, and then if it doesn't work, to go back and try something else. It's just a never-ending cycle of uh, problem solving, and that's something that I really enjoy. Uh, Something that I've been doing in real world, not school projects. I've been working on a Python project where we're utilizing a Raspberry Pi and we're trying to create a picture frame where the device will turn on from a motion sensor and then it will cycle through pictures without repeating any pictures until it gets to the end, and then it will repeat said cycle. And then there's also a sleep function at a certain time. And I've also been working on a Java banking program, but I've been mostly putting a lot of my efforts into that Raspberry Pi project. I would Something that I would love to continue to work on is web development, app development, because I haven't had a lot of exposure to that, but it does interest me a lot just because there's a lot of consumer interaction there, and that's something that I'd love to do. I'd love to get real world experience with that kind of thing, and just getting to utilize it in like a real world scenario. That's actually something that I really want this apprenticeship for is to get to utilize it in the real world. Everything I've been learning, get to utilize it, get to use it with a real client, something like that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of me in a bit of a nutshell. I'm also a cat dad. She's down by my feet and she's sleeping, so I won't bother her right now. Um, and I actually was very excited to hear about you guys. My dad, who's also in the technology world, he brought it up one time, and uh, this is where I am. I really hope I get the opportunity to work with you guys because it sounds like it's going to be a great opportunity. Thank you.